and I have 4 sons, and around 10 years ago, one of our sons really began to struggle. And we thought at the time that it was, typical teenage rebellion, but it continued to escalate. And we started to suspect that it's probably something physiological going on. He was not open to getting any help. Ultimately, our son was diagnosed with a serious mental illness. He has schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. But this really sent our whole family into sort of a tailspin. Our church stayed with us through it all, and they supported us. They never told us, hey, you should do this, but it was just more of a supportive, we're here for you. I was going to support groups. I started hearing this theme over and over from different families that they were either asked to leave a church because maybe their son or daughter had schizophrenia, was talking to themselves. That really affected my husband and I. We were doing well because our church was supporting us and accepting. We want to help other churches to learn how to walk beside families that are in crisis in a way that they can express compassion, but also to do it in confidence. So we've developed a training, a curriculum, to where we want to help duplicate that. We want to help churches learn how to come alongside of a family and to be supportive. Stay with that family as they're looking for resources, because it's really like a desert. There's no roadmap for serious mental illness. A crisis care team is a group of people that come alongside of a family. They're designed to just support that family through a crisis, help them implement and assess a crisis plan, not in a directive way, but listening to the family's needs. By the time you're finished with the crisis care team training, you will be equipped to respond, to recognize when someone is in crisis, and then also be able to help connect them to services that may move beyond your expertise or calling as a member of a church. During the most difficult times of the crisis, it felt like being in a desert. My husband was really a rock star for us. He had to be like a catcher on a baseball field. He had to know where everyone in the family was and make sure that they were safe, and he had to think about the next move and be preemptive in that. And on top of this, he had to shoulder the responsibility of a full-time job. And that was so stressful. In fact, it affected his work at different points.
I had to take about a year off of work to be able to help deal with the situations that we were going through. I was lacking sleep every night. There were extraordinary issues that were happening. The church rallied around Seth as a whole, no matter what. Nobody looked at him funny. In fact, people were going up to him and engaging him and telling him that they were praying for him. Now, the church itself was really encouraging to me and my wife, pretty much all of the time. Never had any issues at all. Always asking us if there was anything that they could do for us, if there's any way that they could pray for him and us, and what else could be done. Well, let's have a conversation about what crisis care team is not. It's not a counseling team. We don't have to have certifications. It's not about having all the answers. What it's about is giving people almost a flow chart of how to be able to go through a system and be able to figure out the answers. We're there to help research and look for these answers for these individuals. And then working with the pastors at the same time, keeping them informed of what's going on with these individuals and their families. We don't have to have all of the answers that people are looking for all of the time. Sometimes it's just going to come to them as we're talking through where they've been, where they're at, and where they're going.
It takes a lot of work to help these families not fall through the cracks. And that's where we can come in, and that's where we can serve.